Hello Moglets, not everything on this channel is always sunshine and rainbows. Sometimes I feel like I need to complain. Before I get started with my little rant, I want to thank you guys so much. We just hit our 200k subscriber goal pretty much as I'm recording this video. That's like super amazing. On a scale of 1 to 10 pogs, it'd be like a 9.5. But I've never given out a 10 pog, so we'll have to wait for that one. Maybe 250,000, who knows? And in a nutshell, my main issue with Genshin at this point is that there's just actually nothing to do. And honestly, I'm not even talking about new content. I know we're getting 1.4 like tomorrow, so I'm really looking forward to that, of course. Those mini games look sick, as well as that Liar. I want to experiment with some things with that. I do want to go a little bit more in depth with what I mean. It's not just that like when a new update comes out, I plow through it in 30 minutes and done waiting for the next content. Not only does the game kind of force you to take your time with the updates with a lot of stuff being locked behind time, but I've been purposefully trying to spread it out over the course of a while, like with the Lantern Rite Festival. Again, a lot of that was time locked, but also I was taking my time with it. But I mean, that's gone now. That seemed like a pretty big event. It seemed like a lot of work went into that event and it's just gone. Which I mean, should be appreciated, I suppose, but it still leaves the game with nothing extra, you know? And then we have Dragonspine here. Does anyone even go to Dragonspine anymore? Once they've completed, you know, the things that have to be done here? I guess besides the domain, but like daily quests almost never appear there, so it's like, they added a giant map here and it was cool for the first couple of weeks and then it's like kind of useless now. I like the weekly bosses. That's something you can always count on as sort of something to do. And then there's Abyss, which is something that happens twice a month. It resets and you know, that is also something to do. What they need is just a lot more of stuff like that. Because besides twice a month for Abyss, once a week for weekly bosses, which also costs a ton of resin, but that's a different story, which we might touch on a little bit later. But yeah, then there's daily quests, and if you're, you know, really hardcore, you can, you know, go farm those green stones, go farm some mini bosses for some artifact drops, maybe. I mean, of course, the resin system does play a pretty big part in all of this. Like, you know, if things didn't cost resin, then you would almost never run out of things to do because you could always just raise every new character you get up to level 90, and that would actually take quite a while, you know? Even if resin was easier to get or didn't, well, okay, if it didn't exist at all and everything was just free to do, then, yeah, I'd probably have all characters at level 90 by now, but in its current state with resin being so valuable, I feel kind of punished for raising maybe experimental heroes, ones that I'm not sure I'll really use or want or need in the long term. Also, speaking kind of as a content creator here, I do like to have, you know, a decent amount of resources already on hand before a new character drops so I can raise them and show them off and, you know, play with them. You could sort of like artificially increase your playtime by like not using condensed resin and doing all your domains in a different co-op party. This is actually what Bones does. She finds that fun. I'm personally more of a solo player, so yeah, I just load up 3 condensed to go do whatever domain or maybe even leyline if I need some more. And so that's done very quickly for me. Personally, I don't think not using condensed resin would really enhance my experiences really, because I've already done every domain so many times that I think doing them twice as often just because wouldn't really enhance my experience. That's not to say if resin was easier to get, I would have a problem, you know, doing more domains because there's a difference. How I see it, resin isn't precious because it allows you to play things, it's because it allows you to get things to raise your characters. I don't know, that's just how I see it. I'm not sure if I'm like alone in that, but yeah, I see resin as resources to raise characters that I want to use, not as playtime. Because if you really, really want to just play and do something, there, like I said, you know, you can farm mini bosses for, you know, 3 and 4-star artifacts. You can farm green stones to craft, you know, crystals at the blacksmith. You could do little challenges with yourself like I'm kind of doing sometimes, you know, taking one hero to all the bosses. that can be pretty fun as well. So if resin was easier or faster, or there was no limit on, you know, stuff like that, I'd absolutely be doing more domains because it's getting me closer to, you know, any sort of goal I have in mind, like raising this character or raising that character. And I am personally a very, very goal-driven person. So if I'm just doing something for the sake of doing it without a clear goal in mind, then, you know, my motivation is a lot lower. I'd say they're making the game a lot better gradually for new players, so that new players have a lot to do in the beginning. Like, you know, someone starting today probably has a good 2 months, you know, of like fresh stuff coming at them all the time. I guess if you're kind of on the casual side, but still. But for people like me that have been playing since pretty much the game launched, our main goal is waiting for the next update. I will also touch on Gacha because this is probably one of the biggest, if not the biggest, Gacha games, actually. And a lot of people who didn't really have experience with Gachas may have been a little bit blindsided by it, perhaps. Not to brag or anything, but I'm kind of a Gacha veteran. I don't know if I should actually brag about it. So there's nothing new or different to me. I kind of know how it works. It wasn't really a con in my opinion. I do quite enjoy Gacha. That's not to say it's a good system or anything. Of course, I know Gacha in general is quite predatory and you have to always be careful around it, especially with those damn weapon banners, because you're never even guaranteed eventually to get what you want. Speaking of which, as a little sidetrack thing, Bones told me they, yeah, what the heck is this though? Where's the new character? Maybe she'll be coming with Child, which would actually be better for me because I don't have Child yet. I definitely want to summon for the new 4-star character. Killing 2 birds with 1 stone might not be too bad. I'm not super interested in Venti Constellations, to be honest. Especially as C1, I don't need another bow user where I'm using their aimed shots. I never used his before. I don't think I would with his C1. C2, of course, is a different story and sounds really good. However, that's C2, so yeah. But yeah, overall, I just wish there was more sort of recurring events. I consider Spiral Abyss to be a sort of recurring event, which, you know, I kind of look forward to resetting. Actually, I think it, oh yeah, 15 hours, Pog. I mean, Spiral Abyss doesn't even change very often. I think we've had maybe 2, 3 different sort of, maybe even only 2, I forgot, but hasn't been more than 3. But yeah, I mean, it makes me frustrated sometimes, but overall, I do enjoy Abyss. I also enjoyed that tower defense game we had with the Lantern Rite Festival. That was pretty fun. If they had something like that, but permanent, and you could like raise your towers to like level 100, but it would just take a ton of grinding to do so, that would be awesome. I would honestly love that. And I don't know, once you get all your towers to level 100, you get 5 Primo Gems from the achievement. That would be enough for me. Just a little something, maybe even like a name card. I don't know. But yeah, I suppose that'll pretty much do it. Been talking for literally an entire day here because it's nighttime now. If you have any fun or creative sort of like challenges you want me to attempt, that'd be cool. Oh, I have an idea. How about counting the bricks on this windmill? That'd be a lot of counting. Should we do it, guys? Should we do it? But yeah, make sure to tell me what you think in the comments down below. Dropping a like on the video if you did happen to enjoy is always greatly appreciated as well. Thanks, as always, for watching, and until next time.